All right, guys. Today's Tuesday, August 19th, and we got some pretty interesting news. I'm gonna first things I'm gonna go over for right now before is earnings. So today we have Home Depot. Tomorrow we have TJ Maxx, Lowe's, Target, and I believe we also have Walmart. So a lot of consumer durables, a lot of consumer products, and many think that these earnings are going to be one of the first uh, uh, proof of tariff impacts that we'll see in the United States. And if these giants are eating the cost of tariffs, or if they're projecting them out to the customer, um, which is something that is happens with tariffs. They are inflationary. Um, so right now, looking at the Nasdaq, we can take a peep. We are down, but it's not too much. So we have been pretty choppy this first week, um, going right back around near the previous week open, um, and also we have been kind of not really doing much. You can see. So I haven't taken a trade all week yet, and I might stay out of the market until the end of August, considering I think we've had the bulk of our price action for August, kind of already be an expansion towards the previous month high. So we've already swept that previous month high, and here is the monthly open right here, as you can see. I know my chart is kind of messy, so let me turn some stuff off. But yeah, you can see that monthly open has already provided the expansion to the previous month high, and now I'm either looking for an equilibrium of this range, or I am looking at this daily fair value gap, and I don't want to take any trades until I realistically see that get hit, because this is the way that I view the markets, which is external to internal, and I view it on a daily chart, meaning if price is going higher and it takes out a very high time frame level and very important key level of buy side liquidity, then I would either look to see us push into a daily gap like this, which we've already inverted, and then potentially into this one. And I will go over a couple of things I put in my friend's Discord. If it's going to load, give me just a second. Yeah, so in here in my market analysis, I put that we currently are in internal range, and I think we will. I said I would personally think we'll invert this fair value gap, which you can see on this chart. We indeed have inverted it already, um, but it's still not really too convincing for a potential run lower for me just yet. But I'll explain everything else I said. And then I said run to a discount. So my targets this week, next week, or potentially next month is 23,503 and 22,776. Um, so this is the 503, and then this is the 776 level. Like I said, this daily fair value gap, even though this is a really small one, I think if we get some action inside of there, and as it's kind of somewhat, I believe it's in a discount of the range. Let me just double check. Yeah, so it's like sitting right above the zero point 0.5 level. Um, so let's see. With crypto, we have Bitcoin going lower, and then um, United Healthcare is still down, is still up. I made a video on that on TikTok, but yeah, right now markets will open in about 1 minute, and we'll see if we want to take a trade. Um, I'm not actually sure when the earnings are. I would need to double check, because I realistically don't want to be trading during earnings. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I don't think it tells me what time. I don't know. Um. Oh, it's pre-market. Okay. So did they already report their earnings? I'm kind of confused right now. Sorry. Uh, Okay, so Home Depot earnings were lower than estimated. Let's look at Home Depot stock. Mm, yeah, so they're actually going a bit higher, but their earnings. Home Depot's quarter two 2025 revenue reached 45.28 billion, up 4.9% in the year, but below expectations. Rose 1.4%, at 4.68 per share. Interesting. Okay. So markets have opened. Um, Honestly, if you look at this price action, there's a whole lot to be said from just watching this. But I would like to wait until one of two things happen. Either we sweep previous day low and head higher, or we make SMT a previous day low and then head higher, which I do think we might have. Okay, markets are dropping. Um, as you can see, we do have some built up liquidity in here. Yeah, so yeah, this is honestly for me just kind of unbearable, to be honest. But I do think we will drop lower. Like I said, I am looking for that discount daily fair value gap on the daily chart as my high time frame draw on liquidity. Um, and I think we could reach it this week. So far, it's this low. All right, we have reached previous day low. I don't know if ES has yet. ES still hasn't reached previous day low. So we could see a potential reversal form. But I don't think I'm gonna be long today. Um, I think ES will come and take out. What is it this low? Uh, well, there is SMT between, what is it, this low and then this low. But I think ES will go and take it out very soon. Yeah, wow, that's a crazy ass dump. We are heading lower as I kind of expected last week. We did not get a lot of great earnings reports in the past couple weeks, and most of the earnings that have been fueling the markets have been AI. So we got to somewhat look at like the broader horizon outside the tech industry on how the economy is really doing. Mm-mm. So yeah, we have a bunch of high time frame gaps here, or low time frame gaps on the 1 minute, and we are kind of still pushing lower to previous week low. Um, if you look on the hourly, you can see the respect of that opening gap right there on the weekly. But I do still think that these lows will be reached, at least these ones. So this is like the next couple one I'm looking at is this previous week low. Um, these lows should be hit soon. And the reason for this is we do have that SMT at that high from last week. So that's just the confirmation. Realistically, I would have liked to trade the continuation setup that we had here. But I do like that we have a large push down. That tells me a lot of good things. So yeah, we are seeing a bit of a push up now. Damn, bro. I'm still waiting. I activated some XFAs yesterday. I don't really want to trade on them this week, so I'm waiting to kind of see something. So right now we're just gonna do paper. Honestly, I really don't want to trade today. So we will see. We will see if I end up actually taking just a regular paper trade. But ES is pushing up here. If I will take a trade, it won't be till 9:45 ish. So we still haven't reached this low on ES, which tells me that we could get a reversal setup, but I think previous week low looks a lot better as this is a draw and also like RR wise. But it's just a little hard with all this chop coming in. And then all this, liquidity we have reaching up here. So I do have that gap just right there, that opening range gap, as a potential confluence. Now, realistically, if I see us invert this imbalance here, I will look for shorts. Okay, looks like we're respecting it. The reason why I drew this out is because ES is kind of pushing up a little bit higher now, and if ES reaches that gap before NQ does, and we have SMT inside that gap, it's pretty strong confluence that we could potentially look to the downside. But I'm pretty sure ES's gap is different. No, ES's gap is like about the same. But yeah, we do have SMT at previous day low, I believe. Down here. So it looks like we are pushing up. ES taken out that is inside that gap already. Just repricing to that initial fair value gap in there. Now this is kind of where I want to see weakness, right up in here. A little bit before 9:45. I think this gap looks a lot better, but it looks like we're holding all those bullish gaps, which is not really good for shorts. We don't want to see that holding. See, same thing happened on this candle. We pushed down into the gap, and then we printed a bullish candle. So we do have SMT. Oh, it looks like it's already printed on my SMT indicator. I really wish this one would be, I could take that off, but I don't think I can. It's already been invalidated. So yeah, if I get a nice closure below this gap, I will look for shorts. Or at least below this candle. That's a good confirmation as well. All right. take shorts here. If it'll fill me in. Okay, I'm gonna put my stop right above that gap. I'm gonna put my TP to previous week low. And I will take half off right about in here. Where's the 4 hour? I want to be a little careful here because we do have that SMT, so I'm going to move my stop to break even in case we do not push below that low. Yeah, see, that's why we manage our risk, because ES or NQ already took out that low, and realistically, I don't want to see, do not want to see us come back up into this range. Look, because you can see that SMT that we have here. Yeah, just, you don't have to, it's okay. Okay, first TP hit. All right, we're just going to hold that runner till previous week low. Put it right there at that Asia. Actually, that Asia low looks a lot better to me. But I kind of need ES to make some more movement here. Get notifications for. I'm gonna trail my stop here. It's a little bit in profit. I still don't really like that ES is not kind of at that low yet. If ES takes out that low, then I'll have a lot more confidence that will run lower though. But so far we are sitting at around 40-ish points, 30 points in gain. Right, I don't really know where to put my stop, to be honest. Alright, that's good. We do want to see a little bearish doji. I would like to see ES push a little lower, please. Alright, we'll move it to the midpoint of that wick right there. Damn, bro. I mean, this is good PA, but it's not really like, I expect more volatility. I expect ES to push a little lower too. I think I'll definitely probably get stop break even here because that SMT. Okay, that's actually a really nice candle to see. Sorry, excuse my voice.
I spend dollars every single month. At 23 years old, I took a big risk. Little did I know it was going to turn into a multi. I had two boys, and we moved to Maryland. Within the first year, we jumped to 3 different states. Our first, I spend $150,000 every single month just to keep these businesses operating. At 23 years old, I took a big.
Damn. Okay. Excuse me, Nasdaq. I don't know what you're doing. I was hoping that this candle right here would have closed below this one. Guess not, though. Definitely might get stopped here. We'll see. All right, so price did end up reversing. Sorry about that, guys. I had to deal with something. Price did actually end up reversing, as you can see off that SMT. So I'll show you guys the execution. Yeah, so we took two cons right at this level, and then our first take profit was at this low right here, and we swept that internal low, and then the second was stopped at break even at the midpoint of this candle's wick. So we caught, I don't know, around 20, 28-ish points total in shorts. So pretty good day. I mean, it is demo at the end of the day, but I'm just showing this to you guys just to show you how I execute my thought process and how I kind of frame every day, each trading day. And having a draw on liquidity helps like a lot. It does actually help a lot when you have a lower time frame draw and you have set conditions for yourself. Like I said, if we inverse this fair value gap, I'm going to take shorts. So I took shorts here, and then we ran it down to this internal low after we went into external. So the internal external logic can also apply on the lower time frames. So as you can see here, we have our internal. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant. Okay. Right here, you can see we have our internal. So this is our internal resting liquidity at this 1 minute gap. And then once we sweep that internal and we actually reach into a point of a premium of this leg, and then we can reverse lower and then take out external, which is this low that was created before we swept the internal. So internal or external, back to internal, back to external, and then now you can see prices going back to internal. And this is usually what happens in somewhat choppy-ish markets. And if we were truly bearish, then we'd seek out this external now, or this external previous week low, which is our high time frame external low. So yes, I'm gonna check on a couple other things such as gold. Um, Nothing really too much from gold. I've only really been trading Nasdaq. It's been like the only asset I feel like I can find myself in sync with. But yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.